All right, chat. We finally have some Rocket League. As Syracuse unfortunately did move on via forfeit over Penn State. We're back though. Syracuse will move on now. Maryland, Iowa State, somber. Finally, get some Rocket League to watch. It's gonna be a fun night. So it looks like Summer, did I lose you?
Oh, I think we're back. I was gonna say you cut out for a second there. I think it was my end. My internet is being weird right now, but we regain.
That we are. It's Iowa State, Maryland. All the players are here. There's no more waiting and sitting around, as we are finally ready to get down the field for game one here soon.
Game one of what should have been probably game number 8 so far tonight, but I digress. We move on to our second match for the evening, and I think this one is going to be just as good. We were talking about it in the pre-show when we were kind of trying to waffle about with the Syracuse Penn State match. I think that this is going to be can't miss Rocket League. This is going to be a very tightly contested matchup. I think both these teams match up very well against each other, and it's going to be absolute cinema.
That is, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a fun game, and hopefully it's interesting. So we're just waiting on Maryland to let us know they're ready.
All right, looks like we had maybe a last second card change, and they're settling into the lobby, and we can get kickoff started here shortly. It's been a long time. I've been itching for some Rocket League. I want to see this top 16, highly competitive, lots of potential for more upsets. Although I feel like between these two teams, there really isn't an upset. I think that they're so even. It would basically just be an upset on paper at this point. But yeah, it's gonna be something magical.
That it is. Well, hopefully, we're all funny games moving forward. Hopefully, there's no more issues. It's Maryland, Iowa State. Finally, somber. We got some Rocket League an hour into this broadcast.
Shocker. Collegiate Rocket League broadcast has some Collegiate Rocket League being played. We got kickoff in game number 1. So excited between these two teams. I've seen Iowa State pull off some big wins, but Maryland also able to get the job done when it matters the most. A team that has a lot of pop-off potential, but Iowa State definitely going to be a tough round 2 opponent for them coming into this one.
That it is, and we're underway in game 1. I'm excited to watch these two teams go to battle. Even with JD Knight here in for Turtle, this should still be a really good Maryland roster, and I think it's going to be a fun series. And we know what Hex is capable of, and we obviously know what Midas and Vanish can do alongside Cloudy. So I think we're in for a long one here.
Yeah, I definitely think that this one could go the distance. Vanish, definitely a big pop-off player for this squad in Iowa State. It's going to be interesting to see how they're able to dictate the tempo in the lobby. Exy, another player that loves to play fast, loves to play very mechy. So it's going to be interesting to see how those two square off and who's going to be in the driver's seat first. You almost saw an insane own goal double tap there. Vanish quick to it off the mistake. Musty pass will go wide left. Hexy bumped off that play, trying to use that boost to get back to it. Cloudy finds Midas off the backboard, back mid, but JD Knight right there. Prime plays to catch and try to move this one to safety.
3:30 left to go in game 1, and even Maryland with a technical sub. JD Knight still a really good player, and it's going to be, again, an exciting series. It's for 90 seconds in, somber. And Maryland, a solid team, a Big Ten tournament champions. Iowa State, Big 12 tournament champions. So now we got two really good, the best teams in CCS, and winning two of the hardest conferences to win in CCS.
Yeah, coming out strong through their conference playoffs and got the job done in round 1. Now the run continues. They are both prime for a top 4 bid, in my opinion. I think that they can get things done if it does come down to a grudge match against Akron. I think that both these teams have what it takes to step up to that challenge, especially with how Akron has been playing as of late. They don't look like they are invincible like we have seen in seasons past. But it all starts off with a good showing here. Nice sidewall pass over to Vanish, and a great touch to get this one back center. No one home. Midas going to be a touch too slow to that ball. Going to 58 out of the corner. Exy now on the solo effort. Goes inverted. Tries to find the dunk on the goal line. Vanish will clear that one away. JD Knight, quick turn and pop to try to keep this pressure contained into the red half of the pitch. Exy, soft touch, not able to get it past Vanish. That's a big time 50 at the midfield.
That it is. And A 2-minute warning approaching here in game number 1. Still tied at 0 for now. And 3 minutes off the clock. Both these teams haven't seen a lot of offensive opportunities quite yet. It's Hexy almost an own goal. Open target. Cloudy makes it 1-0.
Outstanding play here. Midas goes backboard, forces the defense to get awkward, utilizes their own car to turn into a traffic cone, and opens up the net wide open for their teammate, Iowa State, taking the first one off the board. Only 2 minutes left to play, and Midas off the kickoff wants to get a second one immediately. Dish over to Cloudy, double tap opportunity, finds Midas possibly off of the float play. Was up in the skies. Thought they could probably get the read. Vanished with a flip reset past JD Knight. Hexy go to get this one to the sidewall. Big time pinch. A little bit too harsh of a bounce off the ceiling to read that one. Cloudy to pop high and just push into the corner. Try to read the touch from Hexy. Plays it low. Lofting pass. Waiters off the backboard. Cannot find the touch. JD Knight now has to try to clean up. Big time 50 against Midas. Still continuing pressure through this corner, and it finally pays off. Cloudy will tuck that one in for goal number 2.
Off the demo play, it sets you up at 2-0. Iowa State lead after 3 minutes and 41 seconds. I can't do math, but a minute 19 to go. It is 2-0 for Iowa State, and over on the B stream, Purdue is taking on Winthrop right now, and the best is 7, and over in the South Regional Semifinals, Midas wants a double here. It's no good. Once across the clock, and Iowa State looking for 3.
Drop down pass will find its way wide, and that'll be a centered ball here for Iowa State to try to collect through their own corner. JD Knight comes screaming around, leads it into the hands of Vanish. Big time dunk by Waiters. Just trying to stay a little bit of a nuisance on that backboard here for Iowa State. Midas touch the sidewall, wants to play it back down. A 50 to try to kill some time here. Pass back mid. Touch underneath from Vanish. That one will be dangerous, but Hexy comes away with the save. Cloudy with a big time 50. Midas, soft touch, cannot find control once more. Going to be cleared down to JD Knight. Vanish on that back line will collect possession, or at least attempt to. Big time pinch 50 out by Cloudy. Might find its top bins, goes crossbar and out. With under 20 seconds to go here. Looking dire for Maryland to open up the series.
That it is, and Cloudy wants a third. No good. Waiters will clear that out of harm's way. Last possession here for Maryland. 5 to go. Texie down low. The dunk is not there. Cloudy will launch it downfield. Iowa State will take game 1.
Finally touches turf. Iowa State came out. It was a little bit passive through the opening 2 minutes, but they really turned it on when it mattered the most. Iowa State in the driver's seat through this game 1 victory and holding Maryland to a very low score line. Despite the 5 shots, no goals to show for it. And only a team leading 285 was Hexy. It's going to need to be a lot more than sub 300 from your top player on the scoreboard to get it past this Iowa State team. Again, high-powered offense coming from Iowa State. They feel very comfortable defensively right now. Again, 0 for 5 was Maryland in game 1. See if they're able to turn on that offense here in game number 2.
Yeah, and Maryland's going to have to get their offense going, and it starts with Hexy. And then here in game 2, again, Iowa State had a really good defensive showing in game 1, not allowing any goals, got the shutout. We'll see how game 2 goes. As Midas finds a teammate there, it's no good off a shot. I believe that was Cloudy, but it didn't go, and play will continue on 30 seconds into game 2.
Hexy out of the corner, going to take their time with the dribble play. Vanish going to give a little bit of space, but wait for them to fully control that ball. Turns into a 2-man play downfield. Shot will go wide left into the corner. Vanish tries to find the clear out mid. Waiters is there, lying in wait. Cloudy demoed. So I'm going to put dangerously towards their own goal box. Hexy will find a clear out to the sidewall, but Midas waiting in the wings, looking to set up Vanish. Vanish dunk 50. Is going straight up. Now Cloudy misflip off the sidewall. Midas has to go. Waiters realizes all their boost. Still finds it down the pitch with one more 50. JD Knight wanting to try to win that one out. Demo on the back line. Respawn timer is going to be in their favor. Trying to take it over the top of the last man. Midas cannot find it. Now Vanish continues out of the corner. Second touch. Hexy, the full tank of boost and a clutch 50 to send this one out of harm's way. And another big time defensive play coming out from Waiters, and Maryland being tested early.
3:35 to go. Cloudy Down touch, Hexie alone on the back line will find a save, and Maryland knocked out Tennessee in the opening round and did it in a 4-game fashion. The redirect for Vanish marking good for 1.
What a play coming out from Iowa State. Cloudy just puts it in the vicinity where their teammate can even make an attempt on that, and they trust in Vanish to get the read, and they do just that. Put it opposite side on that net. Again, it's Iowa State opening up the score line. Vanish, not the best first touch. Going to try to take it all the way back and dish it down to Midas, but JD Knight hot on the attack. Cloudy now has to go off their own post. Hexie, touch over the top. No boost to follow. Vanish going to have a free clear out to a teammate. Waiters with a nice dunk. Big time miss by Vanish, but Midas able to clean things up. 2 back with boost here for Iowa State. Not much of a threat. Maryland still struggling to maintain any type of presence here at the midfield as Iowa State quick the counter. Cloudy decides to bail out of the play, will be able to get back in time, but still dangerous. Pack mid Hexie to finish the play.
Hexie finally on the board, gets Maryland their first of the night here to break the shutout of just over 7 minutes here into this series. Somber is 7 minutes and 12 seconds is what it took for a Maryland goal.
And rightfully so. Iowa State has been playing lights out defense, and that time Cloudy overextended the play just a little bit, was able to get back in time to make that initial save, but the infield pass is too much for them to recover against, and that's a great save utilizing your own crossbar, but a little bit of the same down the opposite way of the pitch. Cloudy, great solo effort. Waiters, heroic save, but that cleanup man too quick to it, and Iowa State gets that 1-goal lead back.
2:36 to go. 2-1 for the Cyclones. They're back in front. The Big 12 tournament champions have made a statement so far here. Sombers, Maryland trying to get back to level. And again, this is a really good Maryland team. They've looked really, really good all summer. They're going to be even better and even more scary in the fall.
Absolutely. Going to be Hexie with another heat check from the midfield stripe. Cloudy with a nice clear out. Midas to finish the play. No one home for Maryland. A little bit of an overextension here. Plenty of time on the clock. Interesting positioning. Hexie was on the rotate back, just didn't have enough boost, and JD Knight, he was that misflip, trying to half flip their way out of there and get back in time, but again, open net, open opportunity, and taken advantage of by Iowa State.
2:09 left to go. The lead back out to 2 for the Cyclones as Midas trying to put this ball back in front. 2 committed for the defense, and now Iowa State got to retreat back here to their own target. And Hexie trying to go up and over. He's turned wide. And it's 2 minutes left to go. Somber. Game 2 looks all in the hands of Iowa State.
Very much in the driver's seat right now. Almost an own goal. Basically the same. Vanish gets their hat trick off of just turning in, realizing the shaky opportunity that was given to him. Hexie wanted to go post into the left, but ends up going straight in. Waiters backwards, tries to make an effort on that back line, but again, these little mistakes that Maryland are making that are opening up and giving these opportunities to Iowa State, it's just not characteristic of Maryland. They're usually such a succinct team and so well put together, but Iowa State has them look a little frazzled here throughout the opening 2 games.
Yeah, we've talked a lot this season too about Maryland. I think they've got one of the best defenses in the country, but Iowa State has just pickpocketed this defense to a shred here. I mean, they're just dominant. And I know JD Knight's replacing Turtle, who's a big piece of this Maryland defense, but even then, it's still not the same Maryland that we've gotten to see this season.
Yeah, this looks like a team very dysfunctional, very out of sorts, but Waiters trying to claw their way back into the series and into this game. Vanish with a poor touch, and the demo off the backboard puts Midas in the worst situation imaginable, and they're able to capitalize off of a stellar little bing bang boom play out of the corner, cut this lead back down to 2. You got 64 seconds left on the clock, and a big time kickoff win. Waiters would grab that corner, boost off the Iowa State side as well. JD Knight comes in clutch from outside the box. That's this one down to 1.
Maryland got everything they needed there. They got a quick 2-0 run off the couple kickoffs and now have 56 seconds for one more. So they've stormed back from 4-1. We'll see if they can tie it.
See here what kickoff has in store for us. Led to A quick goal for Maryland might be one for Iowa State. It is going to go high, and a rebound shot will go high once more. A very scary save. Cloudy able to clear this one, put it in the corner, grabs that boost off spawn as well, gets past Waiters. We a flip, a reset, bakes it down to Midas. The team play does not connect. It goes wide. Midas back mid to go for Maryland. A little bit awkward. JD Knight dunked out on the 50 by Vanish. Down to the corner. Has one mid, and Midas on the pre-jump might be good enough to get it past Hexy. That flip off the post was the nail in the coffin. Midas gets what could be the dagger here in game number 2.
Winthrop is up 1-0 on Purdue, 3-2 in game 2 over on the B stream. 22 seconds here though, and Maryland down by 2. And number 7 Winthrop have to be up by 2 if a 1-goal lead will hold at 40 seconds left.
Waiters out of the corner, trying to get the late game comeback started. It might be too little too late. Maryland finding pressure in these final 10 seconds, but need to score now if they want time after the kickoff. But it will be Iowa State. They're going to play time here in the Maryland half. Big time musty from Midas. Cloudy going to put it back mid. Midas looking for one more. It will fall through as Vanish is able to get the doink on in. And the final score line looking that much more wicked, 6-3. As we hit triple zeros here in game 2, and another dominant victory for Iowa State. Maryland started to inch their way back in, but Cyclones too strong.
Iowa State 2-0 somber after 10 minutes. And what do you think has gone wrong? I mean, specifically for Maryland, I guess their defense hasn't been, what it is usually defensively for Maryland, but the offense also has to step up here. We're not seeing the same team-oriented offense we usually get to watch Maryland go to. And I think in a series like this, where everything's on the line, and $500 in line this weekend, and this tournament's massive. Both these programs trying to move on, and I think right now Iowa State's just playing in utter dominant fashion right now.
I think the offense is really just the main factor with Maryland. Their defense, it's been shaky. You've given up some very easy goals, but those are things that you can shake off as a series is extended. But outside of JD Knight coming in and getting some clutch tap-ins off the kickoff and making good plays in that game 2, I think you're sorely missing Turtle here. And it's not a skill difference. I think it's just a order of magnitude different in how comfortable you can play. It maybe not enough reps with JD Knight, but they look a lot more out of sorts. Oh my goodness, that was all but in, and Vanish comes out with a big time pinch off their own post. And again, Maryland, it's a combination of plays like that where you're just getting kind of outmatched. Your offense isn't as high powered as the defense on the opposite side, but I think you do miss a little bit of that team play, that team chemistry lacking Turtle here in this series.
Absolutely you do. And I think I mentioned earlier last game that Turtle's a big piece of this Maryland defense. It's one of the best in the country, but here in this tournament, Iowa State's found a way to just break through it consistently, and it's been a problem for Maryland. A redirect just off the mark. Rebound turned wide by Waiters. 3:50 to go. Somber. This is a must-win game if you're Maryland.
Yeah, and a big-time pre-jump save coming out. Still 0-0. To open things up here in game 3. Big demo on Waiters. Might delay the attack just a slight bit. And will be Vanished now out of the corner. Second touches on target. Midas looking to go over the top of the defense. Finds a pass 2. And last man off that bump attempt by Vanish. Not able to get back in time quick enough. Hexy still floating. Was trying to find a recovery on the backboard. Ends up just falling into the back of the net. And finally, that early strike from Iowa State does fall through here for the 3rd time in a row.
3.5 to go, and Iowa State back on top now. An open net for Waiters, though, and it's going to be through a 1-1.
Midas thought that he could pull out a little bit of Vanish's magic and use your own upper 90 to pinch that one out, but to no avail. Almost got the angle on it, but not enough boost to really push it through that upper 90 and out. Great strike to equalize here with just over a minute and a half played in game number 3. And again, the splitting of the opening 4 is massive for any team, whether you're an underdog or you're two tightly contested teams like this. But especially after dropping the first 2, this game 3 is so pivotal for Maryland to come out and show that they're back online here for this series. And it's not just Iowa State's to lose. And they're showing that here in the opening 2 minutes. Been playing some stellar defense, been getting quality looks on target. That time, Waiters on the retreat is able to find the save. Keep this one at an equal affair. Cloudy would have cut that and tries to play it back down to the ground. Thought that Hexy was going to go off the initial bounce off sidewall, but now Vanish takes to the solo effort. Flip reset denied by JD Knight. Midas on the follow-up is good, and Iowa State keeps on attacking with these cleanup plays.
And Vanish just sets it up in the double commit again. Gonna burn Maryland defensively, Somber. 2 minutes, 41 seconds. Iowa State back in front.
And it's getting those double commits. I think it's a lack of familiarity. You're not playing as confident defensively without Turtle here in the mix. Maryland sends 2. Maybe the communication just isn't quite online, quite isn't dialed in yet. As we have a double demo, Midas will be back in time. Vanish spawns right behind and they get pinched on. JD Knight comes in. It's a little bit of a risk on that double commit. Hexy no boost, but you realize I got one behind me. Big time pinch off the defense, puts it right behind Vanish. We are trading blows here between the Cyclones and the Terrapins in game 3.
And it's a good sight if you're Maryland. Your offense is back online. The defense it's doing okay. It's definitely still struggling. They've given up a couple double commits, and the goals from Midas both, I think, were double commits from Hexy on the back line. So they can clean up these second commits on defense. As Midas breaks all 3 defenders in the lead back established.
Vanish, that maneuver to get on that sidewall, put themselves squarely on the ball, get it back out to your shooter at the midfield. And that is what has really been setting Iowa State apart, is you have that cleanup man to clean up on the defensive mistakes. You're using the infield passes, but you're still so threatening on these solo attempts. You have to respect that touch out of the corner. It turns into an infield pass. You have someone waiting right there ready to strike. Iowa State back out in front. Hexy with a nice 50. Midas and Vanish both go. Vanish no boost all the way down the pitch. Might be a numbers advantage here for Maryland. Waiters drops it under the defense, and they equalize once more.
The minute 50 left to go, and if Maryland does survive tonight and does move on tomorrow, I have no idea if Turtle will be there or not. I guess we'll have to figure that out after this. But again, Maryland will have to get through Iowa State first with JD Knight at the super sub. He's honestly playing well. It's just, you mentioned earlier, it's not about a skill difference. It's about, a consistency difference in how he fits into this roster offensively and defensively. As they're used to Turtle being that back line and a really good third man. And he's established one of the best defenses in the country with Hexy and Waiters.
Yeah, and it's very reminiscent of the Florida NIU series right now, where it's a team that's playing with a sub. Yeah, it's still a great quality player. It's still a great quality substitution. Oh, the back line just collapses for Maryland, but it's not a matter of skill. It's how comfortable you feel playing with that substitute. We're seeing these little mistakes, these little early goes, and playing a little bit more jumpy, playing a little bit more on edge. It really just is. You can tell that Maryland is not comfortable on the defensive side of the ball right now.
Winthrop, number 7, leading number 3 Purdue 3-0. Going into game 4, a minute 15 left to go, and Maryland down by 1, trying to get back to level.
Body with a nice catch, gets the bump on Hexy as well, but just in the way of the shot from Vanish. We could not find that one to go. Midas able to turn and put this one off the sidewall, fishing for a 50, cannot find it. Vanish the turn at the midfield off the very aggressive cheat. Being up by 1 and in the driver's seat under a minute to go. Not want to see overtime if you're Iowa State here, but Maryland looking to find some momentum. Big time bump, dishing it to JD Knight. Narrow angle denied by Vanish on the back line. Hexy cannot win out the foot race, doesn't need to. Plays patient off this sidewall. Tries to go back mid for Waiters. Gonna play this one on to the opposite side of the pitch. Back into the corner, utilizes all their boost, and that follow-up man demo. JD Knight has to come in from across the field. Midas, one touch, trying to play it slow. Hexy gonna take their time, set up a solo effort. Pinch back mid, Waiters. Back pass to JD Knight. JD Knight into the corner. Thought that they were going to have a teammate, but Hexy goes for the bump. Vanish off the backboard. Might be able to drop it down. Need a clear out for Iowa State to feel confident in this win. Midas will find one out to the midfield stripe. Touchdown. Waiters will keep it alive. We got a 0-second drill from Maryland and cannot find the skim. Iowa State in an absolute slugfest take game 3.
3-0. for Iowa State, and Maryland got to get a reverse sweep to keep their season alive. We'll see how long they can extend this series beyond Game 4.
Gonna be a tough task. You've shown your most fight here in Game 3, but this was the game that you needed to win. A reverse sweep maybe is in the cards for Maryland, but I think that it comes down to just how uncomfortable they look defensively. It's gonna be tough to have that big of a turnaround on a very crucial part of your game here, being down 3-0. And Iowa State, they're playing with all the momentum. They are locked in, have been from the jump. You're going to need to try to stop that.
That you are, and it, you know, over on the B stream, Purdue up 1-0 in Game 4, but they're down 0-3. I mean, it's been upsets galore all tournament, Somber. I know Iowa State winning here is technically not an upset, but these two very, very close, and the underdogs always come to play. Maryland right now struggling after 15 minutes.
Yeah, and honestly, going into this one, I would have said that with how well Maryland has themselves composed on the defensive side of the ball, and with Iowa State kind of their strong suit being how high-powered their offense can be at time, I'd say that Maryland would be the slight favorite in this. So yeah, Iowa State having the quote-unquote upset, even if it is just through purely, you know, looking at how they tend to play and what you would think the matchup would be, and it's just a tough scene for Maryland right now, trying to get themselves just in the series, trying to grab their first game while being on quadruple match point. Cloudy, a little bit awkward. Vanish was looking for the back pass. Time flick past one. Cannot find the dunk against JD Knight. Will be a clear all the way back down, and might as well have a full tank of boost and a little bit of space to work with. Hexy would have dish it back. Looking for Hexy once more. Team play on target. Rebound will find his way through. Waiters doesn't get the prettiest touch, but it's good enough. A goal is a goal here for Maryland.
3:36 to go, and Hexy sets up Waiters, and you know, to pull this one off, it's going to take Jada Knight being a really, really good defensive player and an absolute Hexy Waiters offensive duo masterclass, I think, to really push this series into a game 6 or 7 scenarios. Waiters has a second.
Waiters, big man making big plays, just absolutely dunks Midas there, and then no boost, dashes up the backboard and able to find the zero angle on the opponent's net. A one-man army here to get the first two on the board for Maryland, and their largest and only lead of the night so far. See if Maryland is able to continue this high offense that they found here in Game 4 in crunch time. Vanish out of the corner is able to get it past Hex. He got that slight bump on them. 80 Knight, another big 50, trying to delay Vanish off the dribble. Does not collect that corner boost on the Maryland side. Midas, I 50'd out. Cloudy, no boost, gonna fake the go. JD Knight underneath, was not taken aback by that. Midas mistouch. Cloudy gonna have to come in and play some cleanup defense. Is able to get it all the way across the pitch into the hands of Vanish. Now has a solo effort. Arsenal reset, trying to play it back down over one, fakes it, and no! Back line too strong. Hexy keeps that solo effort out.
Cloudy, 1-on-2 here, flip reset, didn't get over Hexy in time. Now JD Knight will recollect and take it to the corner. Vanish waiting for a challenge. Maryland still trying to break the defensive pressure from Iowa State, and Somber, they're still stuck in their own corners trying to get out here as Hexy finally will break midfield. Play continues on in the second half here approaching, and a chance for Waiters for three, no good.
Iowa State been so used to playing above the rim in the skies throughout these opening 3 games, and now in Game 4, Maryland playing a lot more down to the ground, playing a lot more patient. Oh, ping pong around, hit the pinball shot, is Vanish. They cut this lead in half, but Maryland, maybe the change of tempo that they needed was just staying a little bit more patient, staying a little bit more grounded in their game, and they found some success offensively, and the defense has held. Finally, the pressure breaks through for Iowa State just past halftime to get their first.
2:28 to go as Maryland a lead down to 1. Hexy a double off the sidewall. It's going to be no good, though, as Cloudy and Vanish will combine for a clear here. But Maryland, though, still trying to find a break down low. Waiters will force this one wide. He's bumped off. Now Hexy fires. No good off the post and cleared. Midas will recollect. Broken up by JD Knight. Maryland still trying to fight for a 2-goal advantage again.
Oh, big team bump. Gonna delay here. Waiters is able to cut off the passing lane. Find JD Knight. down the pitch. Now looking to get it back into the hands of Hexy. Has to force a soft touch just to keep this one contained, but now Vanish on the solo effort once more. Tries to take that reset back to the ground. Cloudy, pinch 50 out at the midfield. Midas, just put this one to the side wall. Leave it for Maryland to try to find something out of it. Cloudy, clear down pitch. Vanish, soft touch, but ends up still getting away from him. Waiters out of the corner. Not a lot of boost to their name. Midas down below. We'll find top high. Hexy to the backboard. Still has 40 in the tank. Burns through a lot of it just to try to put the 50 on target, but cannot get to it. Vanish to equalize.
The equalizer going to come through. Minute 17. And Vanish breaks the defense. It's 2-all. 77 seconds. Purdue's going to force a game 5. With Winthrop, they're down 3-1 now.
Insane series being played by Winthrop over on the B stream. And I mean, I expect nothing less from this bracket so far, to have Winthrop of all teams be one to make the run. A team that, again, they've had their fair share of struggles throughout regular season play, but just finding a new stride here in playoffs, and that's what you love to see. The Cinderella story continues for them against Purdue, and right now Iowa State looking to claw their way back into this game and finish off the sweep. Under a minute to go, and they're threatening. All three go. JD Knight will find possession and try to put this into the corner. Midas with a big 50. Nice dunk from Hexy. Cloudy, though, big whiff. We'll leave it up for JD Knight to try to play some defense. Hexy able to come across and clear that one outside the goal box. Big long clear. Vanish. Redirect touch will be soft and not be able to find it past the midfield stripe. Waiters on that backboard, looking for boost, looking for a bump, something. Hexy has to come across and make a goal line save. Vanish out of the corner, no boost, just looking for someone down below. Midas was in the vicinity, but so was Maryland. Defense able to convert this into a push downfield. Hexy down below, looking to rip a quick shot. Do go off the backboard. Vanish credited with the save. Waiters trying to get it back mid. Midas, I just opt for OT here, but Hexy has other plans, trying to find the backboard. Vanish trying to go coast to coast. JD Knight pushes this one into the corner. Kept alive, and it will touch just outside the Maryland goal box, and we see OT.
Overtime. Iowa State with a goal can send Maryland home as two Big Ten teams in trouble in this window. Somber as overtime now. This is a must score for Maryland.
Vanish. I try to clear that one across. Waiters, no boost, just able to get a soft fling. JD Knight, waterfall down. Cloudy is able to read from outside their own net. Hexy, play over the top, finds the crossbar, and Vanish finds the clear. Waiters returns fire once more. Midas can't get the read. Hexy off target. Vanish has glue on the front of their car. Flip a reset, able to push it. Midas now no boost and low resources. Is going to stall out this Iowa State attack. Cloudy and Vanish both at the midfield stripe. Midas will get a soft touch, turn this one around on Hexy. JD Knight, last man back, being harassed on the back line. Flip reset is almost good from Vanish, but defense again from Waiters comes out big time for Maryland.
55 seconds. JD Knight. A sidewall attempt for Vanish. Hexy open net. We're going to game 5. Hexy on the finish will extend this series.
Absolute wonderful setup. The missed touch, and you're already up with the read. Redirect in. Cloudy. Not enough juice left in the tank to get that one to go. Maryland find a foothold in this series, and they're able to allow this one into a game 5. Iowa State playing from behind early, just were not able to get the job done. They forced the OT, but it wasn't enough. Maryland with the ice, and Hexy with their lone goal of the game coming in OT, and 4 saves to their name, earning MVP here in game number 4.
On to game 5, Somber, and Maryland at this point, they get it done in overtime. They blew a 2-0 lead in game 4, but now, game 5, if you blow a lead, you might not win overtime again. That's just how it's going to be in a series like this. You can't count on overtime every time here. If you play a tightly contested game or blow a lead and have to go to OT, because eventually, it's one goal and you're out. So, you might not be able to score 4 goals in crunch time like that. But you do get one to falls. Waiters finds the opener in game 5. Maryland's got to keep this one going.
Waiters has been stepping up big time. Got the opening to get Maryland all the way extended into that OT. Give them enough of a cushion to take it to Iowa State and clutch up in extra. and they kick things off with a nice goal here in the opening 30 seconds of game number 5. JD Knight and get a soft touch met by Cloudy. Another launch pass downfield. Hexy collects and finds possession out of the corner. We'll lose the 50 to Midas. JD Knight just to get the delay touch. This one will float back down. Waiters has to go. Cloudy ramps up off their car. I dish out to Hexy. Hexy looking for Waiters on that sidewall. Midas already up. Cannot find a read as Waiters. We vanish 2 out of the corner. Going to be denied by Hexy and Maryland ramping up the defense. Hexy with 4 saves last game. Now adding more to their series total. Midas now looks to go all the way around town and take this all the way to the other side of the pitch. Cloudy to follow. Big time dunk, and Iowa State responds quickly.
4:01, and Midas gonna bury the first and finds Cloudy for a 1-1 scoreline, and the 50 unable to keep that one out. We're back to level again, Somber, 59 seconds into game 5.
After that game 3, these teams seem to not be able to escape equilibrium. Whether you have a 2-goal cushion, it could be erased almost immediately, as we saw in game 4, but back and forth we go, and this is what we live for here in the CCS, is tightly contested games, 1-goal affairs, slugfest to just duke it out here on the sticks, on the pitch. We're getting one of those classics brewed up here between Iowa State and Maryland. Big time bump on Cloudy will push them just out of position. They have to go on a full retreat. Advantage of the midfield will clean up the play. A little bit of boost, might be able to make the adjustment, but Hexy, too tall on the back line, will find it off the backboard. Waiters downfield. Hexy has enough boost to put some pressure on Cloudy to make the touch, but nothing much past that. Cloudy now out of the corner has advantage at the midfield. Hexy coming across that post and will find the save out. Still tied 1-1. Demo in the air. We'll delay the attack a little bit, but Maryland still on the charge.
That they are, and 2 minutes down now, and Demo on the front line, no one home. Midas will make the clear happen. Now Cloudy, a missed opportunity for a double. Hexy and crew still trying to fight Somber for a goal 2 as half the game now almost gone.
Hexy, big boost grab, but almost gets dunked out of the corner. Took that extra split second, and that 50 became very unfavorable by Iowa State. Vanish. Gonna put this one back into the corner, try to play some time. Now rushes Hexy. They will find the beat over the top. Grab that mid boost. Cloudy again able to punish, taking that extra split second to grab these resources. Maryland not getting the best touches, not being able to win the foot race out, but are feeling comfortable on their back line, having boost in the tank. Vanish at the midfield, turn, shoot, pops high, to go. Rare mistake that we haven't seen since around the halfway point of game 3. Maryland looking to cut down the defensive errors and have done so well enough, has kept this Iowa State offense at bay for the most part. Hexy, great psycho clear out, does not have the legs to find him past the midfield stripe. It will be a clear nonetheless. Hexy down the pitch, fed by JD Knight's. Waiters continues the attack, put into the corner, looking for a bump on Midas. Vanish now finally find the clear up, and Iowa State get their hand at a counter attack.
Now Maryland trying to transition here. Their offense has to score, but the defense also have to remain perfect. Hexy with a full tank will go to the skies here. Midas off the ceiling. You'll find one touch. JD Knight there beats Midas, but left alone is Vanish. Will cover this clear. Back downfield. Here comes the counter. Back behind Vanish. Waiters on the challenge. Cloudy puts it away. Back to the right side we go, and Vanish has killed Maryland numbers in the paint here. Waiters trying to find Hexy. It's no good.
Waiters with that demo and got the boost as well. So off spawn is going to be yet another resource unavailable to Iowa State. Hexy tries to take over the play from Waiters. Will be a drop down shot from Vanish off target and cleared out by Waiters. One more touch out of the corner. Midas to clean up. JD Knight going to try to play some volleyball here out of the corner. A little bit of back and forth. 45 ticks to go on the clock. Cloudy can't find the catch. Grabs some boost and now tries to clear the lane from Midas. Another big 50 from Hexy into the hands of Vanish. Played through the skies, has one down below. Reset, not much of a scoop behind it. JD Knight has to just try to get out of the way. Conceded by their teammate. It's their hand back into things. Cloudy back over one. Waiters to dunk and Hexy to take over. Right now, Maryland feeling confident in their ability in overtime, but still trying to push Iowa State, trying to get this thing done in regulation.
Hexy off the sidewall. to midfield. No one home. Winthrop, Purdue, and OT right now. Vanish trying to end it. Waiters has to make a save and will. Now Midas waiting back has Cloudy. Off the left wall has one more look here. Vanish puts this one away. Hexy trying to find a way to go across the field. This one is going to be killed. We get overtime.
And Maryland, again, trusting their ice. They sealed the deal in OT in the last one, and they're looking to see if they can do it once more. Cloudy off the kickoff, though. Had the flip reset. Initially looked like they wanted that skim touch, but opted to play this one back down to the ground. Midas, we get a bump on JD Knight. Hexy to follow the play. Got the game winner in the last game. See if they could try to get one here. Rapid fire shot down off the pass. Will find its way high. Midas already up. Down below, no teammate there for the cleanup. And that Iowa State attack with having that second man so close has started to fade away. Being earned a lot of respect is Maryland, and not wanting to give up easy counters to lose the game, and rightfully so. In golden goal, Hexy, big time ceiling pinch. It's going to be on target. Cloudy will save it away, and will have to be cleaned up by Midas. Big time 50. Vanish down below, able to get a pop. Cloudy sees their positioning. Vanish back mid, but a big time demo on that second man. Now the counter's on here for Maryland. Hexy flick denied by Cloudy.
Iowa State defense just will not break in time, where they played a heck of a defensive effort here tonight so far. In Maryland trying to get us to game 6 is Hexy off the back wall again here, trying to extend forward. Couldn't get past Vanish. Up is Midas to end it. That's the end of the season for Maryland. Iowa State will move on.
Oh, what a misstep. Waiters got a little bit greedy for that one extra boost pad. Could have just kept back post, but the lapse in judgment leads to the end of their season. Iowa State come out victorious in a tightly contested Game 5 matchup between them and Maryland.
Right, and again, you look at this series, again, Maryland didn't have Turtle, and that's a big effort player for Maryland. It's right now 3.5 minutes into overtime for Purdue, and Winthrop still going in Game 5. Get over to Fox's stream for that. But after this break, Somber, as Winthrop just eliminated Purdue, that series over. Purdue's eliminated in Game 5. Winthrop will survive and advance to the regional final.
Oh man, what a run putting up by Winthrop. My goats over there, honestly. Meeting those guys, they want it so bad. They want to be competitive, and they're showing that they can be. They can be one of the most competitive teams here in the CCS, and they're stepping up and showing out week in, week out, day in, day out. Congratulations to Winthrop. They continue on to the top 8 here for the CCS season 6 bracket, but man, back both simultaneously some of the closest series that we've had so far. Despite the series line, it's been electric to say the least tonight.
That it has. So I'm going to go to a break. When I come back, it'll be number 2 Arizona and number 3 Northern Arizona. Sound for pick for that one?
Oh man, Arizona's looked really good. I like NAU a lot, but give me Arizona in 6.
Good to know your pick is Arizona 6. My pick is Arizona in 6 as well. But I'm going to go to break. When I come back here in about 10 minutes, Arizona, NAU.